Good evening. We welcome you to our board meeting tonight. There was some anticipation there, and people were waiting, it looked like, and I thought there's no need to start early. We normally start late. We welcome everybody here, staff that's with us, that's prepared for our meeting tonight. The agendas are posted in about 3 places, and we will begin our meeting this evening by a violin solo from Landon. She will announce her last name, but I don't want to butcher it. Our student from Fremont High, and she will introduce her number and then lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Landon. Landon, what do you plan on doing after you graduate with your talent? And how long will that take you before we have you back for that? Got to set a goal. We got to be ready to get you on the list. Let's have another round of applause for Landon. Thank you. Board, our next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. I would entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar. Motion by Paul. Second by Mitzi. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Board. Recognitions. This will be our Extra Mile Award by Carla Porter.
Superintendent Stevens, Board, it is an absolute honor for me to have the opportunity tonight to recognize Lindsay Anderson for the Extra Mile Award. Lindsay, come on up. She's not going to like this. She doesn't like recognition. She doesn't like accolades, and that's one reason we love her so much. Lindsay, you stand right here with me. We're going to talk about you for a few minutes. I know this is uncomfortable, but just smile at them all. They're your fans. What do we do, Trent? There we go. Okay, Lindsay comes to us from Plain City Elementary, and if you look right now at her assignment that she has, kindergarten and 4th grade and resource 1st, 2nd, and 4th. A lot of different kids with a lot of content area, and she does it masterfully. I want to read to you, first of all, some things that her principal, Quinn Carlindsey, who nominated her, said about her. I need to set this down. Says the teachers in the school fight for Lindsay's services. I can see that because I was at Plain City, and I'm sure they do. Everyone is aware of her numerous talents, and they all want her to help. She works with children in small groups and individually. The students love to work with Mrs. Anderson. She is patient with them and never gives up on a single student. Her groups work like, I love this, like a well-oiled machine. The students know what she expects of them, and they perform at high levels for her. She looks for the best in every child, no matter how hard their struggle may be. She's quick to offer praise for student effort and success. No matter what we ask of Lindsay, she does it willingly and flawlessly. That's quite a tribute from your principal. So I wanted to try to let you know, because see, I know Lindsay. I knew her when I was at Plain City, so I have an advantage here. And there's just something different about Lindsay. And you have to be around her to understand. She has all of the skills and all of those wonderful things, but it's how she makes you feel that makes her so different. So I found this, and I thought it encompasses her so well. A person's most useful asset is not a head full of knowledge, but a heart full of love, an ear ready to listen, and a hand willing to help others. And that is Lindsay Anderson, and that's why students love to be around her. There you see her working with one-on-one with students, with small groups. Look at those kids, just anxious to learn. So happy to be with her because of the way she makes them feel. So I had some fun interviewing students, and it really was a riot, let me tell you. They had such wonderful things to say about you. And you're going to see some of the same things mentioned again and again, and I think it was appropriate for you to hear how many times students said these things about her. She's nice. Oh, there's a lot to be said for nice. She makes me work my hardest. She helps me until I get it. She's nice. She waits for me. That's a gift. She's patient. She's sweet. She's nice. I love this one. She can tell when I need to use my stress ball. She is kind. If I get stuck, she gets me unstuck. She's kind. There are a few kinds up there as well. She gives me individual help. She is so kind. If I need more time to get something, she lets me have it. And she's extremely nice. Now, I want you to look at all of those. It's how the students feel when they're around her. And that makes her very deserving of this award. Then I had fun interviewing some teachers. They adore you. I see why they fight for you. Lindsay can do anything. Now, you're going to see that repeated again and again. Her students are always engaged and on task. She has no behavior problems. Maybe need to have you write a book. There's nothing she can't do. She comes to the teacher with ideas. Every student, and they stress this, every student that's worked with her, they've increased greatly in DIBELS, accuracy and fluency. Becky, you might want to talk to her after. She's phenomenal. She's dedicated, patient. She does everything. Willing to go the extra mile, puts so much effort in, and it's always about the kids with her. She rearranged her schedule to help a struggling student on the bus. Now, I need to tell you a little bit about this. There's a student at Plain City that struggled being able to get on the bus and off the bus. So when it was brought to the attention of these folks, she volunteered to help this student. Now, mind you, this was during her lunchtime. She didn't bring that up. She just knew it was best to help this one student. She looks for the one. Here it is, again, she can do anything. She respects the students, they respect her. She can do difficult tasks, but also small ones. Doesn't matter to her what it is if it's what's right for kids. No one is more positive with students than Mrs. Anderson. That's powerful. She's a natural, and I love this last one. There are not enough positive adjectives to describe Lindsay Anderson. What a tribute and well-deserving. So when you look at this, along with what the students had to say, you can see she's very deserving of this award. But again, it's how you feel when you're around Lindsay. It's that change that she makes in those students that they will never forget her, and neither will the staff members. So I thought this quote would be the appropriate one to end with, to let you know how we feel about you. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with a heart. Thank you for what you do for staff members, for an entire school, but mostly for our students in Weber School District. Board, Superintendent, it's an honor to recognize Lindsay for the Extra Mile Award. And let's give her a hand, and then I'll give the mic to I'm going to go get Why don't you tell us who's with you?
Okay, tonight I have my wonderful husband, Taylor, with me in the second row to the back. And my two kids, Cooper is my son and Taylor, my daughter. You guys stand up? Come on, Taylor. And my mom is also here, Sue Morgan. Some of you might recognize her. Yeah, thank you for coming, and thank you for all those wonderful comments. I work with some amazing people, so I surround myself with good people, and it must be rubbing off. Plain City and Marion Hellstrom, stand up, Marion. Really, she's been wonderful to work with. She is the resource teacher that I'm working with.
And she was so excited
amazing.
to talk about you. Wow. She just kept going on and on, huh, Marion?
So, thank you.
I really don't want to be rude while she's walking down meeting the board. But some of you may be aware that I was a firefighter for many years. A year ago now, Lindsay's home caught fire. She didn't care about the house. She cared about the kids. I have to echo everything she said. She cared. There was not one complaint. Took the roof right off. The family was displaced for months. So they're a trooper, and she's a trooper, and her mother, Sue, was let her get a legacy. Sue. So thank you. Thank you, Lindsay. Congratulations. Next item on the agenda would be E+ Team Award, Billy Grills.
Thanks, John. Superintendent Board, it's an honor for me tonight to introduce to you the T.H. Bell Minuteman Core Team, and they're going to be the recipients of our E+ Award. So if I could have you three please come up, Jeff and Karen and Sarah. This is a remarkable group of people and educators. 3 years ago, they came up with a plan to help kids that were struggling. And these were kids that were 7th and 8th graders who didn't do well academically. And it wasn't for attendance and it wasn't for behavior. They just had some struggles academically. So these three wonderful teachers got together and they decided to form the Minuteman Core Team. And with that, they take students, 20 to 24 students a year that have been struggling academically, and those students go to each math class or core classes, math, language arts, and science together. And then for advisory, they have Mr. Jackson, who they just graph and chart and set goals, and it's really remarkable. So here's a couple things your principal said about you. He said, "We have three amazing, dedicated, relentless teachers who guide and direct this class. These teachers are Jeff Jackson, who teaches math, Sarah Yearsley, science, and Karen Roylance, English. As a team, they team teach confidence, self-efficacy, study skills, goal setting, vision, listening, problem solving, self-advocacy, and ownership of grades. The team has such a great belief in each student succeeding and believing in those students, and in return, the students respond to these teachers and work harder than they've ever worked." So what a great honor for you guys. Trent, we got, as I visited with them, Jeff said, "I love this class. It has really helped that I have these students in my advisory. We are able to monitor and graph students' grades 3 times a week." So 3 times a week, and he pulled out his graph charts. They're amazing. They set goals. Each kid, they mark in where they're at and where they're in each class and every class. And they take a lot of pride in it, and they're excited for that advisory to be able to do that. Sarah stated that the students understand that it's a privilege to be part of the class. They work extremely hard and have become a family. We do a lot of team building, and each quarter we teach a social skill that'll help them throughout their lives. And the kids, they concurred with that. And Ms. Royland said, "I'm so impressed with how much the students are willing to try. They really care about everyone being successful," and that's everyone in their class. So with that being said, I talked to some kids, and they want to share some thoughts with you. So we have Jehu Perdoza and Kenna Duncan. Please come up. So I was able to spend a minute with these kids, and they were telling me everything. I said, "Well, would you guys like to come to the board meeting?" And he was like, "Are you kidding me? Can I wear my suit?" And I said, "You don't," I said, "It's kind of casual." He goes, "No, I'm going to wear my best suit." So you look sharp, buddy.
Thank you.
And Kenna, thank you for coming. You look wonderful as well. And she was very excited to share some time with you. So we're going to, ladies first, right? That was so we're going to start with Kenna, and you can give us your thoughts.
Okay, well, I think that this is an amazing opportunity for everyone in my class that got the opportunity and to be picked in there. I saw that and heard that a lot of kids in my class have gotten better grades this term than they have all the other terms through 7th and 8th grade, and these teachers really help us and teach us life lessons and are always there for us, and they always take time and effort for us, and they're family. And so, yeah.
Something that we went on 2 field trips this year. The first one, we went on the Cope course close to here, and we were put in teams. I didn't choose the teams, so I wasn't with my friends, but I learned something from that. We're all different, and we all have weaknesses, and we all have our strengths. Okay, sorry, I'm nervous. And that taught me that I need to treat everyone to how they're gonna feel good. And something that this core class has taught me is how to be patient and how to work well with others. And all the effort they put in, it's tremendous. I thank you guys.
Thank you. So the core, this core team's on their 3rd year. So in 15-16, they had 20 students in the class, and they had a total of 150 quarter Fs as 8th graders, and between them. And as 9th graders, over the course of the year, the class had a total of 40 quarter Fs, and their GPA went up from a 1.4 to a 2.5 for that group of kids. And then last year's group, they had 22 kids. As 8th graders, they had 156 quarter Fs between them. As 9th graders, over the course of the year, they decreased those to 29 Fs, and the GPA also increased from 1.45 to 2.54. So quite a remarkable difference. We thank you guys so much. We thank you kids for taking the time to share your thoughts. And we're going to have you guys turn the time over and introduce who's with you.
Just introduce who was with you. So my husband is sitting in the back row, Sean Earsley, and he's a strong supporter of me and our program and all the time that we put into it.
And I'm happy to have my 2 sons, Justin Roylance and Thomas Roylance. They're a real good support for me at home too.
And my wife Camille and my son Daniel are here with me, so appreciate that. Thank you. Who is here from? We also have, and this is something that's really important. I'm going to say it now that I have the microphone. So this is important because we just appreciate the support of our whole faculty and the support staff at TH Bell. This wouldn't happen with just the 3 of us as a team. We have our counselors and our administration and our registrar, our options aide. She's amazing with these kids, and they are very much a part of this team. So it's a real big team effort to help these students, and they know that too. So appreciate that. But our faculty, we have Debbie Provost here, and we appreciate her being here, and Claudette Nielsen, and and Len Ward. Sorry, I just sorry. You're here part of the team. Len Ward is our principal, and Nicole Warren Doman also our assistant principal, and they're just amazing part of this team. Did I miss anybody?
I do. I would like to say that more than just who he announced is all of our faculty. This is about 3 months preparation to just select the students for the following year. So we use Claudette, we use Debbie. These are sounding boards for us for what is an effective thing, because this is not just an easy thing to pull together. So over the course of about 3 months, gathering students, since we don't have a set criteria, as he stated, this is something that we want to make it a positive outcome, and so we spend the time, the laborious hours just pulling this together because it's that important that it works and that it's successful. So everyone at our school is a part of this.
Superintendent Board, our E+ Award team. Jay, thanks. Good job. Thank you. Great work. From 1 minute man to another. You guys, thank you so much. Thanks, brother. No, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Karen, thanks. Sarah, thank you.
Thank you.
That was so fun.
Very well. Those who came for the presentation are welcome to go ahead if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting. It's a great meeting. Congratulations. Where's the students? We'd like them back next month. That was fun. Board, we have a presentation, The Leader in Me, by our Assistant Superintendent, Jane Ann Kamar, please.
It is so much fun for me to get to sit here and listen about these wonderful awards that have been presented tonight and the great things that are going on in Weber School District and the wonderful, passionate people that help our students every single day. And so, Superintendent and Board of Education, is fun for me to get to introduce another wonderful thing that's going on in Weber School District. And Shirley Passy, the principal at Lakeview Elementary, and some of her teachers and students are here to share some of that information about this wonderful program that is supporting and helping our students at Lakeview. Shirley, I'm going to turn the time over to you because I'm going to let you do all the information on The Leader in Me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're so excited for this invitation, and I'm going to pass the microphone in just a moment, but I want to take time to introduce Julie Mitchell, who is our Leader in Me coach that comes out and works with us for the last year or two. She's come out and we do some trainings in the summer, so a lot of time goes into this. And she was at Woods Cross and said, can I come up? And I said, we'd love to have you. So thank you to Julie Mitchell, who helps us every year with all of our training with the students. We appreciate her. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to my Lighthouse coordinator, and they've planned this with the kids, so we'll let them take it away.
Well, I got excited there for a second when she turned the time over to Shirley and said she was going to do all the talking, but I guess not. So, you got a clicker that I can use for the PowerPoint? Oh. Thank you, Trent. Awesome. So, my name is David Campbell, and I am the Lighthouse coordinator out at Lakeview Elementary, and we are a Leader in Me school. The Leader in Me is not just another character trait program, but it's actually a whole process that empowers our students and helps them seek for success in all aspects of their lives. We are not simply looking to improve our students' academic success, but we're trying to provide them opportunities to develop their full potential, not just at school, but at home and everywhere else. The Leader in Me is actually based off a book called The 7 Habits for Highly Successful People, but was eventually adapted for the teaching and the helping of elementary and younger students. In the Leader in Me program, our students are developing leadership responsibility, accountability, problem solving, and that whole long list that I'm not going to go through and read for all of you. But what you're probably noticing there is some of our students in that picture. They are actually presenting their service projects that they adapted and ran and came up with all on their own. So just showing all those many different items that I listed out there in action. Now, Lakeview Elementary, we're actually in our second year, but in our first year with developing the Leader in Me process, we learned all about how to adapt it for the culture and to bring that leadership culture into action at our school. And one of the very first things was to bring that leadership environment to the school itself. The one picture there, we have several of our Lakeview leaders, and they're basically painting the paw prints and painting other aspects of our outside on the sidewalk, showing the Leadership in Me program in action. And the one on my right is one of my old students, and he's actually standing next to our classroom mission statement. Every class in our school creates their own mission statement that the students develop, and then we implement it and practice it and seek to achieve it ultimately throughout the school year. We also, to develop the culture, we allow our students to lead the conferences. And we started doing this just last year in our very first year. And so basically, the kids create these leadership notebooks. And then when parent-teacher conferences roll around, we introduce ourselves to their parents, and then we turn the time over to the kids, and they lead the entire conference. They show their parents their data. They show their parents their growth, the whole 9 yards. And they just take charge and run with it. And it's been a really, really good experience. This is actually a picture of our leadership day. So once a year we have different family nights and stuff, but we have one big leadership day where the kids do everything. We might support them a little bit, but they lead the whole thing. They get up and they present all the information at the programs. We have students who lead groups of people around the school. We have students who are presenting on different aspects of our school. It really empowers our kids to take charge and take responsibility of not only their work, but our school completely. And it's actually really, really a wonderful thing to see in action. And you're all welcome to come this next year because we'll be doing it again. These pictures here are some of the service projects that our kids basically came up with, implemented, and gathered all the material for. The one on the right is a food drive that some of our students came up with, and the classes all gathered food so that we can donate them. The other one is about the development of our school. We had some of the grade level students decided to gather materials in for displaced families, and dozens of different projects were happening all around the school that the kids made these signs for Leadership Day and then presented them. Here are some of the habits in action at our school. The one on the left there is actually my daughter, who was in my class last year. But one of the things that the third grade group was doing was they were sending home habit forms that the parents could learn a little bit more about the habit and then recognize their child living those habits at home. And then those kids were also recognized at school by having their picture and their habit form placed on a bulletin board. And we rotate those out every month so that people can walk down the hall and see those habits taking place at home. The other picture there is an emotional bank account, which is part of the 7 habits. It's all about making more deposits in each other's relationship and building each other up rather than taking out withdrawals. And what that there is those coins are different things that students have done for each other that the classroom recognized them for doing. Now that we're in year 2, we are still continuing the building up of the culture, but we're also focusing more on academics this year. And one of the things that we are trying to do with our academics is to show that we're tracking the data and the students' growth as they progress throughout the year. The one bulletin board there is actually tracking multiplication for the different third grade students. It's a Space Invaders bulletin board, and as the kids progress, they eventually make it off of the board and get taken up by the mothership. And the kids love it. They love going out there and tracking to see where they're at and seeing their progress. They're extremely excited. The other one is a full wall kind of bulletin board to where the kids are reading minutes every day, and they're tracking how many minutes they're reading. And as the year goes on, the little Pac-Man character there just gobbles up the minutes, and they have different goals that happen throughout each term, and the kids strive to reach those goals. And once again, the kids themselves are just extremely excited to see that little Pac-Man guy move, and I hear him whispering about it all in the hallways about, oh, look, it's moving. He's read more minutes, and it's really fun to see in action. One of the things that we're focusing on is realizing the growth that the students are making. And growth isn't just about graphing their data, which the one girls are showing in their binders, but it's also about seeing the growth in the kids. And that's what that little reading article there is, that the child is expressing how the 7 habits have helped them academically to grow and how it's helped them in their lives. You just really can't see it because of the picture. But I probably have done enough talking, and the real stars of Lakeview Elementary are the students and not the staff. And so we're going to have some of our wonderful leaders come on up, and they are going to share with you how the habits have touched their lives and help them to be more successful. And we will start with our youngest leader from the kindergarten.
My name is Henry Politis. I can be proactive by taking care of myself. I am in charge of my actions and my attitude. When I am at school, I can be proactive by following the classroom rules, listening to others speak, taking turns, being a hard worker. When I see a problem, I think of ways to fix that problem. I want my school to be a safe place to learn. I know that when I am proactive, I am helping my school be a fun and happy place. Hello, my name is Chloe Gonzalez, and I'm a first grader at Lakeview Elementary School. I'm here to tell you about one of the 7 habits that I have learned that helps me be a more successful person at home, school, and in life. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. This habit is all about having a goal and then making a plan to achieve that goal. For example, the other day I was painting pumpkins with my family, and at first I had to decide how I wanted to paint my pumpkin. Did I want to paint a witch, a ghost? Did I want to carve it instead? After deciding I was able to choose just the right brush and all the right colors. And I got started on my project. My pumpkin ended up being exactly what I wanted because I began with the end in mind and planned ahead. I have an experiment that can also help you understand what this habit is. Everyone look around the room and try to find all of the red colored things that you can find. Focus only on the red items for about 5 seconds. Then I want you to close your eyes and try to remember all of the red things that you saw. Now keep your eyes closed and think of all the green items that you can remember. It's a lot harder to remember the things that are green because you were only focused on the things that were red. If your mind isn't focused on anything, then you would probably just remember a bunch of random things. We are more likely to be successful in life when we focus on what it is we want to achieve first. Otherwise, we might be wandering around in life feeling lost and unmotivated. I hope that I will always remember to use this habit as I get older so that I can achieve my goals and be a successful and happy person. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sophie Michelle Alvarado from 2nd grade Miss Peterson's class. Today we're going to be teaching the 7 habits. My habit number is number 3, put first things first, and how it has helped me in my life. For example, when I get to my classroom and I see a mess, I prioritize which side would take me more time to clean and which side would take me less time to clean. It also has helped me at home, such as deciding which things are more important, such as take a bath, eat breakfast, do my homework, then play on my phone. Then clean my room. As a reward, I play on my phone. Good night. Good evening. My name is Nicole Aguayo, and at school we have been learning about the 7 habits. So today I will be talking to you about one of the 7 habits. Think win-win. Think win-win means for you and the other person to get what you want. To have a win-win attitude is to first, you need to make sure you can find a way for you and the other person so you guys can win. A great way is to compromise. Second, you need to try and stay away from those lose-lose thinkers because they will only bring you down. Third, you need to know that there's enough in the world that everyone can share. Every day we have opportunities to practice being a win-win person. For example, recently I planned with my cousin to sell popcorn to our neighbors. I knew how to make the bags and my cousin knew how to make the popcorn. Together we worked and sold, and we got $6 and we both got 3 each. And so we both won. Another example is if somebody found money and your friend asked for some. Let's say they have $20. You might think that if you give you 10 and your friend 10 might be the only way, but you're wrong. The person might give you 5 and the other person 15, but that's still win because you got something and you didn't lose something. And you also got it for free. I know it can be difficult sometimes, but I know that if we practice being a win-win person, we can still make others happy, and we will be happier. Thank you. Hello, my name is Cameron Layton. I'm in 4th grade. The habit I'll be speaking on is habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. That means let someone else share their feelings before you share. If your friend feels sad, try helping them by fixing the problem. Here's an example. My sister and I were talking. She was talking about how nervous she was in her new class. I helped her by telling her that she will be all right because she can make new friends by being herself. So now she has lots of new friends, and it has affected me by seeing her happy. Habit 5 helps me not get into arguments with my friends because I take time to understand. So I hope you can also use this habit. Thank you and have a great night.
Hello everybody, my name is Sofia Guayo. I am in 5th grade and I will be talking to you about habit 6, synergize. I'll be asking you 2 questions tonight so you can think about it and understand the habit better. My first question is, what is to synergize? Stephen R. Dovey says, quote, to put it simply, synergize means 2 heads are better than 1, end quote, which technically means together is better. Let me give you an example. I had many chances in school to synergize, but one in particular really helped me. And one day in social studies, we had to work in partners to do a slideshow about something in the American Revolution. While we were working, we helped each other and worked together. My second question is, how do you use synergize in your everyday life? I use it at dance, at home, and at school. Let me give you a small example for that. One day at my home, me and my family wanted to do this activity called the human knot. In this game, we had to synergize to get out of the knot. If we didn't synergize, we would still be stuck, and we did that activity weeks ago. As you can see, synergizing is an important habit that everybody should practice because nobody's perfect. And I know that if we all practice this habit, we will all get along and live in harmony. Thank you and have a good night.
Hello, my name is Raquel Kamek, And I'm in the 6th grade. Today I will be talking to you about the 7th habit, which is sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw helps us because it reminds us to stay in shape, keep your body healthy, and keep our behavior in check. Since I play in a basketball team, it reminds me of sharpening the saw because it helps me keep my body in shape. I make sure I run daily, either at school or in my free time. I take the chance to eat healthy things like fruit and vegetables. But sharpening the saw doesn't just help you physically, it also helps you mentally and emotionally. In order for it to help you, you need to go back to step 1, physically. If you are taking care of your body and health, you will be happy and think more positive things such as, I can do this, I will try. But if you sit around all day watching TV, you'll be sad and think less positive things, leading you to have less self-confidence. You'll think, oh, this is so hard, I can't do it, I give up. The 4th and last way is that it helps you spiritually. When you sharpen the saw, you'll find more peace and will take less time and help to stay happy. Hopefully no time at all. But when you don't, you will be mad when it make it harder for yourself to find peace within. Sharpen the saw helps us in 4 ways: physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It helps you keep your body in shape, behavior in check, and peace at mind. I hope you use this habit along with the other 6 habits. The Leader in Me program helps us learn better and keep us in check. Thank you for letting me talk about this wonderful habit.
Okay, hello, my name is Mary Lee Schoenfeld. I'm a 2nd grade teacher at Lakeview, and Mrs. Passy has asked me to just share a little bit about the Leader in Me with you as well. So I was kind of thinking as we were coming up here tonight that really the kids are the ones that can say it all. There's not really much more that I can tell you except for maybe from a teacher's perspective and from what I've seen from some of the parents and my own children who go to the school, what I've seen from them. So I may get emotional because things that are important to me make me emotional. So this is very important to me. A couple of years ago when we first became aware of the Leader in Me, I was really curious about it and I started reading more about it and I wanted to know about how it could help us. And I had the opportunity to visit a school in Springville, and then last year I had a chance to visit a school in Manti and see how they have incorporated this. And both of these schools had been doing it for about 6 to 7 years, and so they were well into the Leader in Me. And when I left the school in Springville, the teachers that were with me, and as we left, we had tears in our eyes. And we were determined to get this at our school because of what we saw at that school. If you've had a chance to go to a leadership day at a school or at ours, which we really want you to come, February 22nd, mark that on your calendars. It's a Thursday. We really want you there. It was something that just moved me, and I was like bound and determined to find a way to get this at our school. And so I just want to share a little bit of with you what I'm seeing in my classroom and what changes I'm seeing in my students. One of the first things that I have felt as a teacher is the ability to let go and let the students do more. Maybe it's just my personality, or maybe it's a little bit of the teacher side of me, but I kind of want things done right, and I want them done my way. But I have learned with the Leader in Me that the kids will do anything you give them the opportunity to do. So I have taken my classroom jobs, and they are no longer jobs, they are leadership roles, and I have one for every student in my class. Everybody has a chance every week to do some kind of leadership role in my classroom. And so I've learned to let go of things that I felt like I needed to have control over. And you know, I have learned that the students want it and they crave it, and they do amazing things when you let go and let them do it. That's probably the number one thing that I have learned, is that they want to do more, and they will if you just let them. So another thing that I have kind of stepped back and been watching is just how the students write about it without even being prompted to. They will just write like about how they want to be leaders and how they want to change the world. And so I know they have it within them, and I feel like the leader in me has just brought that to the surface that's already inside of them. Our homework that we sent home this last week in second grade asked the students to write 3 sentences about how they begin with the end in mind in preparing for school. So this was done at home. It was without any prompting on my part. And as I read those this morning, they were writing things like, I pick out my clothes the day before. I pack my backpack the night before. I get my homework done before I go and play. And so these are the kind of things that we started teaching when we started learning the habits. And I can see now that it's trickling into the homes and they're doing it in their homes. We've had parents, and the feedback that we got from our last leadership day from the parents in the community was overwhelming at the changes that they're seeing at home. We had a lot of people from the community. Our mayor came, and as he left our school that day, we had what we call a victory lap. We had every single student lined up and cheering for our visitors that came to see what we had to show them. And he didn't leave our school without giving every single student a fist bump or a high five. And so I can see that it's changing our community, and it's moving the students to want to be better, to want to do more, and to become more than what they felt like maybe they could do previously. And so I am seeing that trickle down into the homes. I see it in my own home with my own son. I'm, as a parent, learning these habits. When my 2 boys are fighting, I say, wait a minute, how can you guys make this a win-win? And they fix it on their own. And that's, like I said, turning more of it over to the students. When they come to me and they're fighting with another student, they're having an argument or a disagreement, or they have a problem, instead of me being the problem solver, I ask them, well, how are you going to solve this problem? And they're becoming problem solvers. So one of the other things that we have done is not only created mission statements for our own classroom about what we want to learn and what we want to be and what we want to do, but we've also done this as a school. And so we have invited our students that are here tonight and any teachers and staff, we have decided to share with you our mission statement. And so I'd like to have them come up and we'll finish off with our school-wide mission statement. So if you're here from Lakeview, come up.
Lakeview Lepers love learning, encourage excellence, aim high to achieve goals, dream big, empower the leader in you.
That's it? That's how you go away? No, I don't think so. Thank you, Shirley. No, Mrs. Passy. That is awesome for that team that you put together on Lead Me. Kids, you did an amazing job. We want to see you in a couple of years come back. Tell us how that worked in your lives. Yes, Mr. Peterson. Yeah, please. That's awesome. Very well done. Thank you, Cammie, for your example as well and allowing that to happen. I know, but you got to push it sometimes up. Board, next item on our agenda after that great presentation by the kids in our school. And again, that Lakeview's in Roy City. That's where I reside. Hi, Mitzi. Approval of 2018-2019. Thank you, guys. Please leave, exit if you can. Remember to vote for the bond. (2018-2019) school calendar on a second reading. Bill Grills, please.
Thanks, President. Board, Superintendent, on October 4th, the Board of Education approved the calendar for 2018-19 on a first reading. As per our practice, we send that calendar out to all of the different groups and we ask for their input. We have not received one call in regards to the 2018-2019 calendar. With that being said, we propose to the Board of Education approval of the 2018-2019 calendar on a second reading. Thank you, Billy. Board, that's great. The motion to approve the proposal on the second reading. Motion carried, or motion by Doug Hurst. Second by Dean. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Thank you, Mr. Grills. Appreciate that. Thank you, President. Board, the next item for a discussion and action would be the approval of the Marriott-Slaterville interlocal agreement. Dr. Peterson. Absolutely.
Okay, board. Some time ago, we had a study session where the proposed Marriott-Slaterville Community Development Renewal Agency the project connected by the Jeremiahs was presented to us by Doug Larson, and we had indicated that we all were in a general agreement. We had indicated we'd approve that at a subsequent board meeting. It's been some time ago, but we have until December 31st to approve it, and so we're bringing it up here for your approval. In the memo I gave you, it is a win-win. Speaking of the 7 habits there, currently we get about $37,000 a year in revenue on property taxes from that piece of property. Over the next 15 years, we'll get the $37,000 plus half of the new revenue, culminating in ultimately $190,000. So we're going to continue to grow our economy and the area there that's undeveloped and by providing infrastructure. And so I propose that we approve this interlocal agreement. Then we'll get Heidi Alder, our attorney, to sign it and get it to Marriott-Slaterville.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Board, you've heard the presentation by Dr. Peterson. I'd entertain a motion to accept the approval of the Marriott-Slaterville interlocal agreement. Motion by Paul, second by Bruce. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. The last item on our agenda would be the approval of the revised policy 7130, employee career status. Second reading, Dr. Rod Belknap.
All right. Thank you, President. Appreciate it. And just to kind of a review, last month we had a first reading on 7130. And as a review of that policy, the first part of it is an employee coming into our district. Their provisional status will be at 3 years. That satisfies a state law that's in our district policy. And the second part of it is that if a supervisor feels that it's necessary, we can extend the provisional status of an employee an additional 2 years, up to 4 years. So that's policy 7130. With that, we didn't have any feedback from last month, and so I would like to make the motion to approve this policy on this second reading. Board.
Thank you, Rod. Board, you've heard the I would entertain a motion to approve revised policy 7130, employee career status on the second reading, as Dr. Peterson's proposed, or Dr. Belknap has presented. Motion by Janice, second by Paul. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Thanks, Rod. Seeing there are no other items on our agenda, I would like to just say the past couple of weeks have been a struggle. Staff, thank you. Lane, thank you for all your efforts and everybody on the team to make this thing work. Thank you for your efforts in the bond, which is coming up. Thank you for your work and effort in the schools. And it starts at the top with Dr. Stevens and the presentation in the schools. So thank you very much. Having that, board, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Dean. Second? Mitzi. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Good night. Be safe.